Hello, athletes. Welcome and thank you for tuning into the Coach Katie Danger podcast, recorded live from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm your host, Coach Katie Danger, U.S. Army veteran, fitness coach, and founder of Red H Nutrition. Here's a fact for you. 99% of us are not elite athletes. We're individuals from all backgrounds, juggling life's priorities, including jobs, our families, their needs, and trying to find time to take care of ourselves. Every single week when you tune in, I'll be discussing clear, concise, and actionable strategies you can use to get the most from your fitness, nutrition, and mindset so you can optimize your life without compromising your time. So athletes, settle in and get comfortable. I'm here to educate, inspire, empower, and entertain you to help you enjoy the unique fitness journey that you are on. Hey, athletes, what is up? It is Coach Katie Danger, and this is episode number 70 of the Coach Katie Danger podcast. And like always, I am incredibly excited to speak with you. I love bringing the energy. I love sharing this energy with you. And I hope that, by osmosis, by proxy, whatever you want to call it, you can absorb some of this good energy, take it with you, and have a fantastic day as well. So we're recording here. It's actually Thursday. So I like to call that pre-Friday. And if you round up, it is basically Friday. So if you don't necessarily like math, there is one principle that I like a lot, and that is rounding up on Thursday. Like once it hits noon on Thursday, round up is Friday. So there's your dose of positivity for you. But hey, in episode number 70 today, I'm talking about something that is just, it really grinds my gears. I've posted a lot about the evolution and de-evolution of fitness, nutrition, and the whole coaching landscape when it comes to the fitness industry lately. And there's just a lot of bad information out there. There's coaching gurus and charlatans who just want your money. They just want to sell you another fancy magic pill that you're going to eat up and then hopefully get the results you've always wanted. But ultimately, you're going to be in the same spot. Whether or not you throw your money at them or not, or however much the program costs, the path that some of the industry leads people down are just flat out untrue. And it's simply just to make a buck. So what I want to do with this episode is clear up some misconceptions about a very popular word, and that word is metabolism. Everybody wants to boost their metabolism. They think they have a slow metabolism, they have a fast metabolism, or their genetics are dictating whether they can get the results that they want. And I'm here to tell you that there is no such thing as a fast or a slow metabolism. What our metabolism actually is, it is a sum of all of the biological and chemical processes that make up our body. So we all, because we are humans, I'm talking to humans right now, we're all humans on Earth, there are certain physiological laws and principles that our bodies, they respond to. It's just science, hard, solid science and laws, things like thermodynamics, how we burn energy from food, how we transfer energy from food. These things are very, very stable, and there's a lot of science behind them. But when it comes to manipulating our metabolism, we can look far beyond our genetics. And that particular word is epigenetics. And epigenetics is all about how our choices and our environment affects our overall health. So that's how we can really reset our metabolism. That's how we can look at individual dimensions of what influences metabolism on the choice and environmental side, the epigenetics of how we live our lives and how we can really get the results that we want. Because our genetics do not define us. I mean, we cannot change the DNA that we have in our bodies. We cannot change the double helix, right? Like we can't go in and unwind and unzip things and change who our parents were, change who our grandparents were. But what you can do is you can choose to live your life in a way that promotes health and positivity, regardless of your genetics, because you are your choices, you are your behaviors, you are not your genetics. So what I want to start with here is the old hierarchy of what metabolism or what fitness is. Like, if you Google the hierarchy of fitness or hierarchy of wellness, you're going to get a pyramid. Okay, you're going to get a pyramid, and it's going to generally have a foundation, and then it builds upon each other. But these are all individual dimensions and aspects that tend not to intertwine well together. They're not interconnected. They're not interrelated. They're not adaptive. And there's certain components that are definitely missing. So let me paint you a picture of a typical hierarchy of what fitness or metabolism would look like. You're going to start with the foundation of nutrition, and then you work your way up into what experts would say like less important factors. You got nutrition, fitness, sleep, water, and then mental and emotional health. And then depending on who you're talking to or depending on what coach you're talking to, there's going to be different dimensions in there depending on, what their coaching philosophy is. But you get the idea, right? It's a hierarchy. There is a foundation, and then there's components built on top of it to get to the peak of the pyramid where Some people argue that, that's like the least important factor. But I don't like this model anymore. I think that the fitness industry has evolved past this. And when coaches use this old pyramid or this old hierarchy to develop their coaching programs, I think it's a de-evolution. There is such a dynamic nature in the things that we do and the people that we are. We're all unique, we're all individual, and we all have different pieces of the puzzle that we need to leverage in order to really get from point A to point B, in order to go from our hell to our heaven. And that's what we all want to do. We want to be in our heaven. We want to be in our heaven on earth, and we want to feel good, look good, and be able to do what we want to do when we want to do it, right? I mean, that's like the goal of life. That's somebody like living the dream. So what I did is I developed this new model, and this model is based off of what I do. I am an actions, not words sort of person. Even though I'm speaking to you right now, actions mean a lot more than words do. Words are empty unless there's action to back it up. So with this new model I'm presenting to you, the 6 dimensions of metabolism, they all build off of each other. So it's like a cycle. It's a cyclical cycle. It's a continuum, and they all are adaptive, and they can all be uniquely adapted to you, the individual. And that's why I think that this model, this dimensions of wellness and metabolism that I've developed, has a lot more staying power and has a lot more ability to build momentum and create results for people who are looking to burn fat and build muscle and build an actual lifestyle with good habits. This new model, so there's 6 dimensions, and it's a circle. I'm going to put this in the show notes when the show is released so you can see this model and how it compares. But here's the 6 dimensions. It's movement, it's nutrition, community, sleep, water, and mental and emotional health. So those are the 6 pieces of the large puzzle that make up good metabolism, that make up a metabolism that helps you burn fat and build muscle for life, that puts you in the driver's seat of the results that you're looking for. So with movement, we're talking about fitness. So like actual physical movement, whether that's cardiovascular, whether it's strength, probably a component of the two. I'm also talking about flexibility and mobility. So how well do your joints and tissues move throughout space? What's your range of motion? And then of course there's nutrition. We cannot discount nutrition because, I mean, we've all heard it before. You are what you eat. And to an extent, yes, you are what you eat. If you eat hot garbage, you're probably going to feel like hot garbage. If you're eating salads and high vibrational foods that fuel you, proteins, fats, carbohydrates that are of high quality and nutrient dense, you're going to feel better. We all know that. We don't need science to tell us that. You know what it's like if you've gone on a bender or once Thanksgiving, Christmas time rolls around. When we eat good, we feel good. Okay, so I don't really need to go a lot more into nutrition, but it's the food we put into our mouth. It's also supplementation as well. Then the community aspect. So I think this is a really discounted aspect of health and wellness. A lot of coaching models just take a one-on-one approach, which I think is fantastic because that makes sure that the individual's taken care of. But I also do like group coaching models, especially hybrid models that put the one-on-one and the community or group coaching aspect together, because you can really gain momentum off of learning from others, from seeing from others. And we all are going to make mistakes in our journey. And one of the great things about making a mistake is, one, you know you're not going to make it again. You're like, I don't want to do that again. That did not work out for me. But number 2, when somebody else makes a mistake and you notice it, you're more than likely not going to make that same mistake. So it also saves others. So your mistake isn't in vain. It is for a purpose to teach you and to help guide others, which I guess is a lot of the basis for my experience in the past 18 years. I've made a hell of a lot of mistakes. I mean, I've done a lot of good things too. But I will be honest, the things that have really put me on the course for success are the mistakes that I've made because they were painful, they were embarrassing, and they set me off course. So I don't ever want to do them again, right? So mistakes, I want to tell you that community coaching, group coaching is great for momentum. It's great for inspiration and it's great for empowerment. And having others to learn from, both the good and the bad, is invaluable. So a good coaching program, a good model for building a healthy environment for yourself and lifestyle habits also includes, having people around you, like-minded individuals who will raise you up and support you no matter where you're at, no matter if you're just starting from the crawl or if you've been running for a while. That's why I love community as an aspect of health and wellness, especially when it comes to getting your metabolism in line for where you want it to be. And then there's sleep. I cannot tell you how many people just don't take into account how important sleep is. Sleep hygiene is important. The interesting part about this cycle, this dimensional wheel that I've created is nothing is more important than the other. Okay. What it comes down to is sleep may be a missing piece for you. In fact, I may go through all of these 6 and you're like, oh my God, Katie, where do I even start? I suck at all of these. And that's okay. When we break things down into tiny bits, it makes it easier to chew on. You've heard the saying before, at least I think you have. And if you haven't, here you go. How do you eat an elephant? An elephant's gigantic, right? You can't just you can't just eat it all in one bite. You have to take it bit by bit. And I'm not saying go out and eat an elephant. It is a metaphor, right? It's a way to take abstract principle and make it relevant and understandable for you and I. So we're like, oh, aha, I get it now. So you eat an elephant one bite at a time, and you do the same thing with health and wellness. Sleep, an important factor. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting deep sleep? Are you getting quality sleep? Is your sleep hygiene routine appropriate? Do you go to bed at night and do you get on Facebook for hours and scroll before you're able to pass out? Are you taking a sleep aid every night to get to bed? And I'm not talking about like a supplement like Zenrem from Radiation Nutrition. I'm talking about like, are you taking Ambien, which we've done a podcast on before. And if you're taking Ambien before, you know that it is a sedative. It is not actually something that helps your brain get into a proper circadian rhythm so you can get deep, rapid eye movement, REM sleep. So sleep is important. Sleep's important. And then there's water. Like our entire body is made up of water. Every single biological process in our body, almost every single one needs water. We need water to produce energy. We need water to break down fats, carbohydrates, proteins. We need water in order for insulin regulation. Like we need water. And it is shocking to me the number of athletes out there who they don't really track that, or they don't care about it, or it's just like insignificant in the equation, right? Like who cares about water, right? It's not sexy. It's not fun. It's water. Well, I'm talking to you right now, and I'm telling you, as I'm speaking, I am using water to do so. So I need to take a quick guzzle here. Give me a second. Hey, I know, and you know, that I talk a lot about using supplements on your fitness journey and reaching your full potential. How I believe they're integral pieces of the puzzle to reaching your best self and best fitness results. But do you know how supplements fit into your plan? Do you know what to take for your goals and how much of a supplement you should take? If you've ever had any of those questions and you want to know how supplements can work for you and your goals, go to yourfitnesssupplements.com and take the free 3-point personalized supplement assessment. And with just a few questions, you'll have a complete personalized supplement recommendation in less than 60 seconds. You'll know more about how supplements fit into your fitness goals, what's safe, and what's effective and perfect for you. So type in yourfitnesssupplements.com in your internet browser, take the free assessment, and get on the fast track to your best fitness results. Okay, so water is important. We need water for everything that we do. Hydration is very important because even when we're sitting here doing nothing, we are using water. And then there's the mental and emotional aspect of it. One of the biggest reasons people fail is because they quit. So they choose to stop doing what they wanted to do. And I know it's not because goals are, not worth it anymore. It just becomes hard. It becomes hard. We give a few weeks, we give it our all. We perhaps bite off more than we can chew. And we're like, I can't do this anymore. I can't handle it. I quit. And I read an interesting article the other day, and this has to do with podcasting, but the lesson applies to everything that we do, especially when it comes to fitness coaching, especially when it comes to taking on an endeavor that will take us a while. You're not going to lose 15 pounds overnight. I mean, like, even if you starved yourself for 2 days, you're not going to lose 15 pounds overnight. So these things take work. But the article I was talking about refers to podcasting. And okay, so we're on episode number 70 of the Coach Katie Danger podcast right now. And there was a point where I got into some episodes and I'm like, this is just a lot of work. Like, how do I keep doing this? But I realized it is a passion project. This is how I get to speak with you. And I didn't want to quit. I knew that what I was doing was very valuable and it was going to be worth it. I had to keep going, even though it was uncomfortable and difficult. So if somebody who wants to start a podcast, if they get to 3 episodes, so if they make it past 3 episodes, they're in the top 1% of podcasts worldwide. That's because people don't get past 3 podcasts. And if you're doing one a week, that means 3 weeks. They gave it 3 weeks and they're like, it doesn't work for me. I don't want to do it anymore. Now, I'm sure there's people in there who just started it and they just kind of wanted to dabble a little bit. But there's lots of businesses, there's lots of people just like me, coaches who want to connect with you, who want to start a podcast because they know it's a valuable medium to reach others, but because they're not making that instant gratification and they're not like rolling in the dough the minute that they launch their podcast, they're like, well, I guess it's not for me. And they quit. So at episode number 70, I don't know what percentage of podcasts I'm in them, but I do know I'm at least in the 1% worldwide, which I guess is both a cool statistic, but at the same time, knowing that most people don't make it past 3, it's not really something I'm going to like write up on the wall or have a cheat meal for. But you get the idea, right? Most people just quit. They quit. They quit in podcasting. They quit in their fitness. They quit in their diet. And this is why I end every single episode with don't ever, ever, ever quit. This is why mental and emotional health is so important to stay on track. You got to find ways to stay motivated. We use that word motivation. Gosh, I don't know. People they think they need to be more motivated. I've had athletes come to me and say, hey, I got to get motivated to do this. And I'm like, well, why do you want to even do any of this? Like, what does it mean to you? You've got to have a deep why. It's got to mean something to you. So motivation waxes and wanes. It comes and it goes. I find myself a highly disciplined individual, and that is the only thing that keeps me going is I am disciplined. I will do the things that I need to do because I know that it is important that I reach you. It's important that even if I only speak to one person a day, if I can make an impact on that person's day to help them get from point A to point B, to keep taking the steps that they need to take, then it has been worth it. It's been worth it. So mental and emotional health, it really, really, really matters. In all of these aspects I talked about, movement, nutrition, community, sleep, water, mental and emotional health, it is impactful. And no area is more important than the other. It's just not. And that's why I think the old hierarchy is garbage. I don't think it works anymore. Where we take the dimensions, though, is there is going to be a higher leverage aspect for each individual person. Just to give you an example, like me, I pretty much have my nutrition down very well. Once I start training for my Ironman, I am training for an Ironman next June, half Ironman in Kona, Hawaii. I'm going to have to dial in my nutrition. I'm going to have to change my nutrition up a little bit, right? I'm going to work out, I'm going to exercise, but I'm going to have to do a few tweaks here and there. But when it comes to the discipline about nutrition, the knowing the what and the how to get the results, I got that. I got that all day. So I'm really good at coaching that aspect. I mean, I'm good at coaching all these aspects, but we're talking about an example. Probably the biggest thing that I need to work on right now is my sleep. My sleep. I've struggled with my sleep for a really long time. I've got some bad sleep hygiene habits. I've worked on them. I don't keep my phone by my bed anymore. I try to stay off social media after 9 p.m. But one thing I have done is I have removed my phone from the room. So I have my watch. This is my alarm, not my phone anymore. So the first thing I have when I wake up, I don't grab my phone anymore. The last thing I have before bed is not my phone anymore. So that's what I'm talking about. All these things are important. Nutrition's important, community, sleep, water, your mental and emotional health, and your movement, all that's important. But what is important for you? That's where the group one-on-one coaching comes in. And that's where the development of the metabolic amplification formula, the genesis of, has come from, is realizing that this old hierarchy where things don't play upon each other, where life is really not adaptable. And I saw a really big problem with it. So all of these things are ongoing. They're feedback loops. Things build off of each other. There's really nothing that ever is taking it as a singular component. So here's the philosophy behind the metabolic amplification formula. After everything I talked about, all of the information I've given you about what the old model says and how it's crap, and how the new model that I've developed can work for you and with you and take your individual needs and uniqueness into account, this is where the magic happens. This is how you burn fat, build muscle for life, and never have to hire another coach again, because you are instilled and empowered with the habits and to know the what and the how, right? And then how to execute upon that. So the program's got your education, it's inspiration with the community and the one-on-one support. So it's got that group hybrid coaching model, and then the empowerment. Okay, you can give a man a fish, can feed him for a day, or you know how this goes. You teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. And that is what I want to do. I want to teach you guys how to fish. I want to teach you guys how to make these choices for yourself because of your uniqueness, so you get the results that you want. There's really no reason to plateau anymore. There's really no reason to flounder in uncertainty, because this program is the all-encompassing continuum that gets you from point A to point B, takes you from wherever hell you're struggling with, ever challenges you might have, and takes you to the heaven and where you want to be. And the last thing is, it's fun. Programs have to be fun. Coaching's got to be fun. You got to love your coach, and your coach has to love you. You're never in this alone. It is about making an investment in yourself. It's about showing up, committing to the process, being disciplined. And even on days when you got nothing for motivation, when your tank is empty, you still believe in yourself. You're never going to be in this alone. And that is why I believe the metabolic amplification formula is the one stop of all of the programs you may have heard of, you may have tried. I understand. I've tried plenty of coaching programs before. I've been coached by coaches who suck and who haven't taken me into account and who said I have to eat this and not that. And you got to train this way and not that way. One size doesn't fit all. And if you ever come across a coach who tells you that this is the only way to do something, like you can only eat plants, you can only eat meat, or you can only go keto or only paleo, run for the hills, okay? Like run as far as you can because they do not have you in mind. If you want a coach who has you in mind and who really gives a shit about the end result that you achieve, I want you to consider setting up a call with me. In fact, I don't want you to consider it anymore. You have all the information. You've been listening to me for 70 episodes now. You know that I walk the walk. You know that I talk the talk. And I've spent 18 years developing what actually matters and how we can create the results we want by building knowledge, empowerment, community, and then taking factors that actually affect metabolism and working on them piece by piece. This is not a eat the whole elephant at once approach. This is about breaking it down into who you are, your uniqueness, and then getting the result by leveraging what you need quickly, right? When you leverage things appropriately, you can see quick results. It's a 90-day program to help you burn fat and build muscle for life, so you never have to work with a coach ever again. Here's what I want you to do. If all of this sounds great and you want to learn more, I want to know if we would be a good fit to work together. So the next thing that you have to do, athletes, is go to the metabolicamplificationformula.com. I am taking new clients right now. I do not have a limit at this moment. I was going to have a start date, but we're starting immediately. Like, there's no reason for you not to start, and there's no reason for me not to start. So metabolicamplificationformula.com. And I want you to learn more about what this program can do for you. I want to learn more about what makes you tick. See if we're a good fit together, and then come up with an action plan on how you can finally get the results you want. There is no reason to struggle anymore, athletes. There is no reason to deal with the challenges you've dealt with before. I want you to set up your appointment with me at metabolicamplificationformula.com. See what I can do for you. See what is specifically unique about the formula, and we can come up with an action plan. So even if you don't want to work together, I'm going to leave you with some value, and you will come out with some tips that will help you take the next step. But as always, I'm going to put my coaching hat on here. I'm going to be really real with you. I'm usually really real with you, but I'm going to be really, really real with you here. If you've been struggling for a while and you've tried this and you've tried that, and you're a little disenchanted and perhaps a little frustrated with other information you've received before, I completely understand. I get it. I've been coached by crap coaches before. I've been sold programs. Let me tell you something. One time this guy, I needed sales help when I opened the Red H Nutrition store. He told me he could help me. Okay. He told me he was business savvy. He's like opened 1 million businesses himself, whatever. I paid him $15,000 to help me. And do you know what he did? He took my money and he didn't help me do shit. He didn't help me do anything. I was ready to take action, but he never gave me any steps to take action with. So I understand if you've been frustrated with coaches in the past. Believe me, I have been there. And that is why I will never, ever sell you anything or tell you anything or give you any advice that I would not take myself, that I would not give to my spouse, that I would not tell my parents, because I may not know you and you may not know me specifically very well yet, but I love you and I believe in you and I'm here to help you. So set up your appointment at metabolicamplificationformula.com. Do it now. Quit delaying. July is right around the corner, and it's never too late to get started on your dreams. Okay. I don't care if you're 85 years old, 105, or if you're, 20, get started today. Set up your call with me, metabolicamplificationformula.com. In the meantime, athletes, this is what I have for you today. This is what I'm going to leave you with, like I always leave you with. Trust yourself, believe in the journey, enjoy the process, and whatever you do, don't ever, 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 ever quit. This is Coach Katie D with episode number 70. Over and out.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.